Buenas tardes. I'm going to be reviewing the lesson that we had with IR verb conjugation. So I'm going to be sharing my screen and going over conjugating IR verbs. So for review, to conjugate ER verbs in Spanish, remember, recuerdas, that we take off that ER at the end. So if we're looking at the verb comer, which means to eat, we take off the ER ending and we add new endings depending on what's the first part of our sentence. So if I use the word yo, I, so if I want to say I eat, yo como. If I want to use the word you eat, tú comes. He eats, él come. She eats, ella come. You polite or respectfully, if you're talking to an adult, usted come. They eat, ellos, or you can use ellas if the they is all girls. Ellos comen. So that is the conjugation of the ER verb. And what we learned with the last lesson last Wednesday was we can take the ER, when it's in the infinitive, it has that ER ending. We remove the ER ending and add these new endings depending what word starts our sentence. Yo, tú, él, ella, usted, or ellos. So today, hoy, we are going to look at IR verb conjugation. If you notice, there's something similar. So let's look at the word vivir. Vivir means to live. So when I want to say I live, yo vivo. You live, tú vives. He lives, él vive. She lives, ella vive. You polite or you respectfully live, usted vive. They live, ellos viven. And if you look at ER verb conjugation and IR verb conjugation, what you notice is that they're similar. If I'm in the yo, if I'm speaking, if I use the word I end my verb with an O. Tú, es. If I use él, ella, usted, I'm going to end my verb in an E, an E. When I want to use ellos or ellas, meaning they, I end my verb in an en, E-N, en. So for IR verb conjugation and ER verb conjugation in fourth grade, it's the same. The reason why I say fourth grade is because in fifth grade, we learn how to say we. And that is where you'll see the difference between IR verb conjugation and ER verb conjugation in Spanish. Let's look at the verb abrir, which means to open. When I want to say I open, yo abro. You open, tú abres. He opens, él abre. She opens, ella abre. You open, usted abre. They open, ellos abren. So again, we see the endings o, es, e, en. I'll say it again, o, es, e, en. And they are the same endings as the ER verb endings. So if you know the ER verb endings, then you know the IR verb endings that you're going to use. Here are some example sentences. To say, I opened the window, yo abro la ventana. I live in Philadelphia, yo vivo en Filadelfia. And if you notice, I broke it apart. Yo, tú, ella, él, usted, ellos, ellas. And you'll see the conjugation of each of those verbs in each one of those sentences. To say you open the door, tú abres la puerta. She opens the book. Ella abre el libro. He opens the notebook. Él abre el cuaderno. You open the window. Usted abre la ventana. They open the books. Ellos, or ellas, if it's all girls and they're they, abren los libros. And if you notice on the other side, when I use the verb vivir, that's in the infinitive, and then I take the IR off and I add these endings, you'll see yo vivo, tú vives, ella vive, él vive, usted vive, ellos viven en Philadelphia. So it's like saying, I live in Philadelphia, you live in Philadelphia, tú vives en Philadelphia, ella vive en Philadelphia, she lives in Philadelphia, él vive en Philadelphia, usted vive en Philadelphia, ellos viven in Philadelphia. So we see that conjugation in each one of those sentences. Let's conjugate the verb escribir. Escribir means to write. I write. Yo escribo. Notice that we keep the first part of the verb, and I talked about this before when we conjugated AR verbs. So you see in escribir, we kept ESCRIB. We stopped at B, and we took off the IR ending and added our new ending, the O. Yo escribo. To say you write, tú escribes. Now it ends in an ES. For él, ella, and usted, the reason why they're all in the same line is because they all use that same ending of the verb. It's just an E, an E. Escribe. And then for ellos and ellas, we add the en, the en, escriben. For this assignment, you have previous vocabulary, which words like ventana, puerta, cuaderno, we've learned these words before, and along with some other ones. And then we have new vocabulary for this assignment. So to say the box, la caja, the gifts, los regalos. One gift, el regalo. The package, el paquete. The house, la casa. The store, la tienda. The church, la iglesia. So for this assignment, you're going to use the previous vocabulary and the new vocabulary and create sentences just like we did for the ER assignment from last time. So for this assignment, you're going to create 6 sentences, and everything that you need to create those sentences are on these slides. Everything that I've showed you, you're going to refer to and use for this assignment. And if you get stuck, go back to the conjugation of the verbs to find the verb that you need. So what I was telling the class is you can start 1 through 6 with a different pronoun for each one. Yo, tú, él, ella, usted, ellos. And once you have those down, then you can conjugate your verb, because now you know which pronoun you're using and that verb has to change. And the vocabulary that you need is on the blue slide. If you have any questions, you can always message me on Google Classroom. And I hope this quick review helps you in understanding your assignment. Hasta luego.